Shalom Yesharala. First and foremost, I'm to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wacha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to those Le'akim that's preached the word in all truth and sincerity, along with your Israelite foreigner brothers that are like the heathens. But the line of outside was back to the nation of Israel, which nation of Israel are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the prophecies and curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter and throughout the Bible. So this will be your call, a month per lesson, and on today's lesson will be entitled, You Are Who Your Father Is. I'm just going to go on some precepts, and Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters out there be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shimon Shai, because the Bible deals with the patriarch lineage, not the matriarch, which when you define the word patriarch on Google, it means the male head of a family or a tribe. It says, when you go down to the second one, it says any of those biblical figures regarded as fathers of the human race, especially Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their forefathers or the sons of Jacob. Right, because there's no such thing as mixed or there's no such thing as a matriarch lineage, man. And just look up the word matriarch real quick. Matriarch. It says matriarchal, which means relating to or denoting a form of social organization in which a woman is the head. And that's off, man. Because in the ancient world, in the Bible days, it was a man's world, you see. And it was common knowledge that people knew that you are who your father is, man. And that leads me to the first precept in Numbers 1:18. It says, And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Right, so you declare they declare their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. And when you define the word pedigree, it means the record or descent of an animal shown to be purebred. The second definition is the record ancestry, especially upper class ancestry of a person or family. So it would be the second definition. It means ancestry, descent, lineage, line of descent, line, genealogy. Right, so the pedigree would be, in other words, your lineage, your ancestry, which would be your father. So for example, if your father is a Judite, which would be a so-called Negro, but your mother can be an Edomite, a so-called white woman, guess what? When you're born of your parents, you will be classified as a Judite, not mixed, because they had these terms called mulatto, you know, but really you are who your father is, man, and the Bible proves that. And I got a couple of accounts I'm going to go into. The first one is with our forefather Joseph, you know. With Joseph, he was the son of Jacob, you know, and this is when he was in Egypt. It says the sons of Joseph, it says Genesis 41:50. And unto Joseph were born two sons before the years of famine came, and Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare to him. And Joseph called the name of, so their mother was a Hamite woman, you know. It says, and Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Yahweh said, He had made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for Yahweh have caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Right, so these were these were Joseph's two boys, you know, Manasseh the firstborn and Ephraim the secondborn, you know, and their mother was a Hamite woman, you know, which was Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, you know. So, they were still Israel. They still were Israelites, man. They wasn't mixed. Even though you can You may have some features of your mother, that can happen. But guess what? You're still of your father's seed because, as the apostles taught us, if you was a plant an apple seed in an orange field, when that seed grows, it will be an apple because the seed is an apple, you know, and vice versa with all the other fruits and stuff, man. You know, it's not going to be mixed. It's going to be one of its own. You see, because this world teaches about being mixed. Or I'm 70% Italian, 10% Chinese. Nah, it's you are who your father is, man. It's that simple. You see. So Joseph's sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, they were Israelites, even though they had a Hamite mother, a so-called African mother. You see. And we go into another account in Second Chronicles, chapter uh, Second Chronicles chapter 12, verse 13. And this is Rehoboam, which Rehoboam was the son of King Solomon. And it's going to say, it says, so King Rehoboam strengthened himself in Jerusalem and reigned. For Rehoboam was 1 and 40 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. Right. And we know the Ammonites today to be the so-called Japanese. So King Rehoboam, even though he had the heathen mother, which was a Japanese woman, Ammonitess, but his father was King Solomon, which King Solomon was a Judite. King Solomon, his father was King David. And we know King David was a Judite. So, Rehoboam, he was a Judite. He may, he probably could have had, Moabite features like, slim eyes. But guess what? He still was an Israelite. See? Because once again, you are who your father is, man. You know? So, all that being mixed and the matriarch lineage, nah, man. You are who your father is. See? And we go to another account of that in Judges 8 and verse 30. In Gideon, he was a judge, one of the judges during the time of the book of Judges. And he was a righteous man. He was a mighty man of valor, man. And I believe he was of the tribe of Manasseh. Let me just fact check that real quick. Go to another. Just want to make sure I'm right. I believe he was a child of Manasseh. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see. I know Gideon. He's also known as Jerubbaal. Let's see. Let me just find that real quick. I want to make sure I'm correct on that. Gideon, Manasseh. Scripture. I hate when that happens, man. They don't give you the actual scripture, man. Okay, Judges 6 and 15. Yeah, come. This is Judges 6 and 15. It says, and he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewithal shall I save Israel? This is Gideon speaking. It says, behold, my family is poor and Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. So Gideon, he was of the tribe of Manasseh, you know. And yeah, so let's keep going. Let's go back to Judges 8 and verse 30. It says, and Gideon had 60, which the score is 20, and 3 will be 20, 40, so 60, 60, and 10, which would be 70. So 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. So Gideon, he was getting in. you know. It says, and his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. And we know Abimelech, after his father died, he was a wicked judge. He was the same man that got, he had got put to death by a woman, because he was doing a lot of wickedness, man. He killed all his brothers except for one. And he was the one that a woman had cast a millstone down from the wall and had hit him in the head. And, he had a concussion basically and he died from it. So, that was a shameful death in the ancient world to be put to death by a woman. But that was the Lord making mockery of him for all the wickedness that Abimelech was doing. But I just wanted to bring out that his mother was a concubine. So, we know the concubines were the heathen women. So even though his mother was a concubine, he still was an Israelite because his father, Gideon, was an Israelite. You see? And King Solomon also said, I believe it's in let's see, it's in Apocrypha. I believe it's Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7. Because he talked about a man's seed. Just trying to find it real quick. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 verse 1 in Apocrypha. It says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be the flesh in a time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man. Seed of the seed of man. See, so that's another precept to solidify the point of, you being who your father is, man. Of the seed of man, which is the sperm of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. Yeah. So, King Solomon, we know King Solomon's father was King David. So, you are the seed of your father. We all are the sperm of our father, man. It's like if I gotta get blatant like that, but it's the truth. You know. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Just want to make a quick lesson on that. You are who your father is. Gave a couple examples, and the Lord willing, I was edified. And until next time, Shalom.